Your focus is the one thing for which you want to be known. It is great when somebody says, I know who you should speak with. She is the go-to person for. But for you to become that go-to person, you need to be able to focus on one thing. For many of us, and I'm talking about consultants, we struggle to define and constantly refine our focus. Why? Is it fear? Is it because we know too much? Or is it because we're not sure how to go about defining and then continually refining our focus? As I was scripting this video, which discusses 3 keys to define and refine your focus, I was reminded of several childhood stories. The Fox and the Cat, Hans the Weaver, and real-life success stories such as Steve Jobs and Sarah Blakely, all of whom focused on one thing for success. The stories, whether fictional or real, also highlighted the need to continually work on refining your focus. Let me start by eliminating one myth. And this is a myth that has presented itself to me several times over the past several years when people have said, you only need to define your focus once, and then you're done with it. That's not true. You continually need to hone your focus. And at times, your focus will change. Over the years, my focus has changed, and many people changed their business focus during the COVID pandemic. Some of the business focus changes were only minor tweaks, and others were drastic changes. I'll dive into the 3 keys shortly, but let me start with a very shortened version of one of the fictional children's stories, which highlights the importance of focusing so that you're successful. If you want to jump to the 3 keys to defining and refining your focus, the video is time-stamped. You can find the time-stamped information in the description area. The Fox and the Cat. A fox and a cat met in a forest. The fox boasted about all the strategies and tricks he had so that he could quickly escape from danger. The cat commented that she only had one strategy, and she was working on perfecting that one strategy. Both the fox and the cat had the same focus. They were focused on how to go about escaping danger. As the two of them adventured around the forest, the fox explained his many strategies to the cat. She listened intently, but always came back to explaining her one strategy to the fox. One day they heard dogs barking in the distance, and as the dogs got closer to them, the cat immediately implemented her one strategy. The strategy? She climbed up a tree and hid amongst the branches and the leaves. She was completely out of sight. The fox, now that's a different story. He tried to remember all the strategies he had come up with, but he became confused. There were too many options, and it made it difficult for him to decide on which option was the right option. He also hadn't perfected any of those options. It was impossible for him to escape from danger. He was attacked by the dogs and died. Now, there are variations to this fable, and there are much longer versions of this fable. But the moral is this: by focusing and perfecting on one strategy or one approach, the cat was able to succeed and survive. That one strategy proved to be much more effective than lots of strategies, than having a scattered approach with many options. Again, in this case, the focused approach, that one strategy which the cat perfected led to her success. And that is what you want to do as a consultant. You want to focus on one thing and perfect it, leading to your success. But how do you define that focus? Hi, I'm Laura Burford, and this video is all about the 3 keys to help you define your focus and refine your focus. My focus is on helping somebody like you, the independent consultant, establish and grow a consulting business which provides consistent revenue so that you can live life on your terms. Why do I do it? I know it's like to make mistakes. The first mistake I made was on focus. I was looked at as the jack of all trades and the master of none. And I don't want to see anyone fail, particularly when all you need is a little help. And hopefully this video will help you. I mentioned you continually need to refine your focus. I'm continually assessing my consulting knowledge and skills. And the focus is one of them. If you're looking to assess yourself, download the consultant's assessment document and consider scheduling time to discuss your findings with me. Links are in the description area below, but I've also added links in the first comment below the video. If you're interested in more consulting videos aimed at helping the independent consultant master consulting, click the subscribe button. If you click the bell, you'll be notified when the next video is released. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Your focus is the why and the what for your business. I refer to it as the foundation of your consulting business because just about everything you do builds upon your focus. Think of it this way. If the foundation of your house is not properly set, or the foundation is built on sand which can wash away, it is possible that the overall structure, the house frame, the windows, the roof, it is possible they can all be compromised. Your final house might be standing, but it's not as strong as it can possibly be. It can be weak. And it is possible it could collapse. The same holds true for your consulting business. You want to ensure your foundation, your focus, is as solid as possible because it impacts just about every major decision you make within your business. It impacts how you define and find your ideal client, the person you want to engage with. It impacts how you go about building long-term client relationships and even how you deliver on your promises. Clarity as to your focus helps you find people who want your help and who you want to serve. Get your focus right and you can soar because people are clear as to who you are. They are clear as to what you want to be the go-to person for. Get it wrong, and you might become overwhelmed and not sure what to do next, like the fox in the Fox and the Cat fable. There are 3 keys to consider when determining your focus. The 3 keys: understand you, build on you, and demand and desire, or need and want. Let me start by discussing understand you and what I mean by understand you. Understand you requires you to self-reflect and assess who you are, what matters to you, or what is important to you, and the effect you want to leave on others. You define who you are not only based on what you've done in the past, both professionally and personally, but also based on what you want your life to look like in the future. As you evaluate what you like, you also evaluate what you dislike. What don't you want to do? You think about what lights up your face when you talk about it. People say to me that when I talk about helping people become successful, and I always like success stories, my face lights up. You contemplate how you define success But I want you to define success on your terms, not someone else's. So often, we define our success based on somebody else's definition. It could be how our parents define success for us. I want you to define success on your terms. Understand You is all about you. This is your zone. It is where everything seems just right for you. Life feels right. It feels comfortable. You enjoy getting up in the morning. The second key, you want to build on who you are. This is not about reinventing you. Rather, it's about building on what you've already done and your strengths, not your weaknesses. Many of us have done things because we needed to do them or people expected us to fill certain roles. Have you ever been the good soldier within a corporate position and done something you really didn't want to do, but it needed to get done? As you build upon who you are, you want to start by assessing your professional and personal experiences. Highlight what experiences brought you joy, as well as those you wish you had never experienced. There is nothing wrong with saying to yourself, the experience was okay, but I don't want to experience it again. One way to evaluate your experience is to write down 50 things that there is no way in the world you would like to do, or you would like to do them again. Then write down 50 things you would like to do. Look at what you've already done. What experiences should be on that 50 things I would like to do list? Many people find it easier to start with the things that they don't like to do than what they like to do. But you could flip the two. It doesn't matter. You should end up with two lists, like and dislike. Evaluate your expertise. Has somebody put you on a pedestal because of your expertise? If so, why? Why did they put you on that pedestal? You might be surprised to learn that that place on the pedestal is something that you're great at and you really enjoy. Is it on your list of 50 things you like to do? Finally, assess your strengths. You want to leverage your strengths and build upon your strengths. Place your weaknesses on the sideline because as you build your business, there are always ways to compensate for your weaknesses. But you don't want to compensate for your strengths. You want to help people to get to know your strengths. As you go about and assess yourself, your experiences, your expertise, and your strengths, don't be surprised if you experience an aha moment. The first time I took a hard look at my experience, expertise, and strengths, I did. The third key, determining if there's a demand and desire or a need and want for your experience and expertise. The best way to think about this key is to determine what problem do you want to solve? What do you really like doing? What problem do you really like solving? In the fox and the cat fable, the problem was how quickly could they escape from danger? Focus, escaping from danger. Many times the demand and desire or the need and want is a problem that you've experienced. A problem that not only you've experienced, but other people are experiencing, and they need help solving that problem. And it is a problem that they are willing and open to paying you to help them with. When it comes to determining if there's a demand and desire, you need to do some research. You need to talk to some people. You need to check things out through internet searches. You can even do it and use ChatGPT to help you. But you need to do some research to help you determine what is the demand and desire that people are open and willing to pay you to help them with. After assessing the three keys, understand you, build on you, and demand and desire, you combine your findings. You evaluate each of the key areas, and you look for areas and items that overlap and merge. And you keep evaluating until you find a point where all three key areas intersect. This intersection, believe me, is a small sliver of everything you've done. Everything you've thought about, you reflected on and evaluated. In this area, this small sliver, this is where you will find your focus, that one thing for which you want to be known. Could you have more than one item, one thing that you could focus in that intersected area? Yes, you can. That only means you need to continue doing more assessing and some more research. Sometimes that assessing is simply talking to more people. Other times it's picking one and starting with that one and giving it a try and seeing how it goes. How do you pick that one? You take an educated guess, and sometimes it's your gut. Which one do you think is really the right one for you, personally and professionally? I mentioned earlier that when I started my own business, my focus was too broad. I was constantly being considered and thought of as the jack of all trades and the master of none. I heard comments such as, "You have a great business plan, and with your experience and expertise, you shouldn't have any problems. You might want to connect with." Looking back, I wish I had somebody who pulled me aside and offered me hard love, questioning my focus, because my focus was not that one thing that would help me soar. It took me some time to get my focus right, and it might take you some time as well. But don't hesitate to reach out and ask for help. And when you reach out to ask for help, if the only thing you hear are positives, find somebody that will sit down and talk to you and help you evaluate to truly make sure your focus is the right focus for you. Your focus solves a real problem, a real life problem that people have. It is also the one thing for which you want to be known. The one thing that when somebody says they need help or they ask somebody for help, you are the person that's top of mind. You are the person that's referred to as the go-to person. With the fox and the cat fable, the problem was, how were they going to quickly escape from disaster? To help you determine your focus, you need to assess and evaluate three key areas. The first, you need to understand who you are. What matters to you? How do you define success? The second, you want to build upon who you already are, your experiences, expertise, and your strengths. And the third area you want to evaluate, demand and desire. What problem are people interested in hiring you to help them solve? After you evaluate and you assess each of the key areas of the three areas, you want to step back and look for the point where the three key areas intersect. This intersection is a small sliver of everything you've done, and that's where you'll find your focus, that one thing for which you want to be known. If you follow this approach, can I guarantee that you will get your focus right the first time? No. It is very possible you'll have a couple possibilities that you want to focus on, or that couple possibilities that will become that one thing for which you want to be known. What I can say is this: if you try to focus on all 3 or 5 areas that you have in that small sliver, you probably won't succeed. You'll probably struggle. What I can also say is, if you want to narrow it down to that one thing, you need to perform some research. You need to talk to people. And don't ever hesitate to ask for help. What I can guarantee, though, is if you are not clear as to what is your focus and you have too many options, there can be chaos and confusion. People will not know how you can help them. You can struggle, you will feel overwhelmed, and the possibility of failure increases. As with the fox and the cat, focusing and perfecting one strategy on one thing for which you want to be known and leveraging your strengths proves to be more effective than a scattered strategy with lots of options. My question for you: what is your focus? What is that one thing for which you want to be known and why? Let me know in the comment section below. In closing, I've added several links to the description area below. One is to the consultant's assessment and to my scheduling calendar. Another is to that business core video that explains focus, ideal client, and point of view. Finally, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Clicking on the bell will notify you when the next video is available. I look forward to seeing you on future videos, and keep your eyes open. I will be adding periodically success stories about people who are consultants, some of them famous, some of them not, and how by focusing on one thing, that led to their success. And if there is a topic you would like me to cover in a future video, add that in the comment section below. Until next time, until the next video, take care. I look forward to seeing you again.